Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the SLA Publisher Roadshow. This is our autumn term session focusing on young adult titles. There are some really exciting books on the programme, so we hope you enjoy yourself, feel inspired, and get some great new ideas for library stock.
Hello, I'm Frances Maloney, PR Manager at Barrington Stoke, and I'm here today to take you through some of our top titles for the end of 2025 and give you a sneak peek of something exciting we have coming up in January 2026. First up, I want to tell you about something really exciting, which is the launch of our brand new dyslexia-friendly plays. Launching with the two most popular plays at GCSE, Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare. Our new plays feature all of our dyslexia-friendly format and layout, the tinted paper, which makes them accessible for all readers and perfect for use in the classroom. They can also be used in tests as they don't include any notes, so they're really good for that as well. And I've just included a sample spread here so you can see for yourself how clear the layout is compared to a lot of the older versions, which have a lot of footnotes, which makes it quite difficult for dyslexic readers and readers who struggle. Next up, we have our longer novels, which are designed for more confident readers who are ready to take the next step. They usually come in at about 20,000 words, so they're still significantly shorter than many middle grade reads, but they are significantly longer than some of our other books for reluctant readers. And we're thrilled to have another new title by best-selling author Dan Smith. This is the second instalment in the Night House Files series, which started with the Dead Soul Project. The premise is that Dan Smith has been given these found files and he has to write them up to expose the truth behind these mysterious happenings. So the books are broken up with newspaper articles, interviews, transcripts, and really gory illustrations, which make them even more suitable for reluctant readers. And this book is very much like Stranger Things. All these children start acting very oddly and they're being drawn into this lake in the woods. But the question is, what is in the bottom of the lake that's drawing them in? It's very creepy, it's very visceral, and it's going to thrill readers 11 plus. And this is some of the lovely quotes that we've had for the series so far, including the Dead Soul Project being a Times Children's Book of the Week, and some lovely author quotes from Phil Hicks and Jennifer Killick. Next up, we'll be looking at titles for 13 plus. Prize-winning author Tanya Landman is a stalwart of the Barrington Stoke list, and she has recently been writing a lot of classic retellings for us. And now she brings to life Dracula for reluctant readers, simplifying the text but keeping the message and the atmosphere of the story. This is perfect for studying the Gothic, introducing children to Dracula for the first time. And Tanya is excellent at bringing these stories to life in an accessible way whilst also keeping true to the original story. And here are all our beautiful classics ranged together. I think we'll agree the covers are looking spectacular, and they include a lot of the most popular novels studied at GCSE. So if your students are intimidated by the size of the original, these are a great gateway to get them into the story. And lastly, we have a sneak peek of our lead title for January 2026. And I'm not going to say too much else because if you go to the next slide, you'll see a video from the author Steve Cole introducing the book.
Hi, I'm Steve Cole. I'd like to share some details about my upcoming book, New You Forever. Now, it's set a little way in the future and follows the adventures of a young journalist and a young climate change activist as they fight to expose a terrifying high-tech conspiracy that could change the shape of humanity forever. If not just artificial intelligence, but artificial emotional intelligence were created, what possibilities does that unlock? Imagine if we could transfer our personalities from this decaying flesh and blood relic and shove it in a lovely, shiny, artificial body. A body that doesn't generate waste, that doesn't need food or drink, doesn't need to bathe, doesn't need to use the bathroom, doesn't feel pain, doesn't get sick. We could live forever and save the planet's resources while doing so. New You Forever is science fiction, but I can't help feeling some of its ideas and concepts are scarily possible. I'm hoping it'll start some good debate, and I wonder what you'll think.
Hello there, my name's Amy and I'm one of the 2 marketing officers at Firefly Press. I'm here today to talk to you about some of the young adult novels we've got coming up in early 2026. So to start, we are launching a new Classics from Wales series in March, and one of the 2 titles that we are launching the series with is Georgie by Malachy Doyle. This was first published in 2001 by Bloomsbury and has sold over 15,000 copies worldwide, but we are very excited to bring it up to date, refresh it with a new design and launch it for a new generation of young people. Next up, we have a LGBTQ+ musical theatre YA love story, and here is author Tom Ramsey tell you a little bit more about it.
Hello, I'm Tom Ramsey, the author of Showstopper, a young adult queer romance. It's set at the UK's most prestigious competition for teen performers and follows 2 nominees, Ollie, a larger-than-life musicals obsessive who dreams of being a leading man, and Tarun, a nervous novice who's hiding his newfound love for performing from his dad, who thinks musicals aren't for boys. They initially clash, but when the 2 boys are made to partner up for the week, they discover they have a lot more in common than the opening number might reveal. Showstopper is an uplifting, feel-good rom-com inspired by my years as an amateur teen performer and my work now as a West End theatre producer. I wanted to write a story for teens about learning to be true to yourself, mental health, and the power of finding your people. Publishing in 2026 is a perfect read for theatre lovers and skeptics alike, and an affirming story that would have made a massive difference to me and my fellow LGBTQIA+ friends if we'd found it on the shelves of our school libraries when we were 14. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have the most theatrical day full of high notes, key changes, and joy!
Tom is based in London and is very keen to do events with schools, libraries and bookshops, so please do get in touch if that is of interest to you. And we plan to have some POS for this title, including bespoke bookmarks and patches. And our final YA offering for the first part of 2026 is a gorgeous first novel by Patience Agbabi, who you may know from writing the Infinite series with Canongate. This is her stunning young adult debut, all about finding your tribe, finding records, finding romance, and finding yourself. Now, this is great for fans of Dean Atta and Elizabeth Acevedo. It's set in Colwyn Bay in Wales in 1980, and it's perfect for any fans of musical history or the Northern Soul movement particularly. It's an absolutely stunning read, and here is Patience to tell you a little bit more about it.
Hello, I'm Patience Agbabi, poet and author of Wonderland. Wonderland is about finding yourself through music, and it stars 16-year-old Tamilola, the hero, who moves up from London to North Wales in the year 1980, and she discovers the strange world of Northern Soul at the end of the pier, and the club is called Wonderland. It's heavily autobiographical. I moved up to Colwyn Bay in 1978, and I spent my teens dancing to Northern Soul records on the pier. But unfortunately, in 2017, the pier started to fall down and it was eventually dismantled by 2018. And I was really keen to resurrect it in literature. I'd also like to share how it began as a prose novel, but it wasn't really working. Then, inspired by Under Milk Wood, I decided to make it a novel in verse so I could make the language of North Wales, all the dialects, sing, as well as the Northern Soul lyrics. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for listening.
Again, Patience is very keen to do events with schools and libraries. She has experience in running engaging events for children. So again, if you're interested, please do get in touch. Now, just to finish up, I have put a couple more young adult titles to look forward to in 2026. In September, we are publishing the English translation of Megan Ann Harrod Hunter's Behind the Sky, which was originally published in Welsh. And in October, we are looking to publish the third in the Dark and Dangerous Gifts of Dolores Mackenzie series, which is very, very exciting. So now you should have my email address on the screen. Please do get in touch with any queries, and thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
Welcome to Scholastic's YA book highlights for the autumn 2025 and some spring 2026 highlights. First up, we've got Be Right Back, the sequel to the nail-biting YA thriller bestseller Let's Split Up. Do you dare step out alone? Scream meets Scooby-Doo. Join Buffy, Jonesy, Amber and Cam as they investigate a chilling string of murders in their local town. This is a nail-biting and perfectly formed thriller for the YA book talk generation. We Three Witches is a sapphic YA romance murder mystery from book talk sensation and queen of gothic fantasy Rosie Talbot. 1930s haunted York. Viola Samphire was once part of a coven of 4 powerful witches, but now only 3 survive. When Viola discovers that their deaths was no accident, she hunts for clues, but she is getting used to a new witch ability, to see ghosts. Most importantly, she can see the ghost of Edie, the witch who died in the fire, and her unrequited love. Can Viola discover who killed Edie? And could admitting her love for Edie change the course of their future and even bring Edie back from the dead? The thrilling and heart-wrenching new novel from the author of 16 Souls, 12 Bones, and Phantom Hearts. Next up, we have A Wish So Deadly. This is an epic, heart-racing fantasy romance for fans of Powerless, about the battle to survive a deadly tournament to win the wish your heart most desires. When Talia unwittingly steals cursed jewels from a powerful Soul Reaper, she pays the ultimate price. The Soul Reaper takes her sister's soul. Desperate to save her sister, Talia strikes a deal. She'll enter a deadly magical tournament, and if she survives, she will claim the prize of a wish, the only payment the Soul Reaper will accept in exchange for the return of her sister. But the tournament can only be won in pairs. Talia is paired with Taran, who is brooding, mysterious, and harbouring secrets of his own. But they must find a way to work together if they're going to make through the deadly trials alive. And as Talia's feelings for Taran grow, the stakes get even higher, and the ultimate price might just be her heart. This is a heart-pounding YA romantasy about a girl who is willing to sacrifice everything to bring her sister back from the dead. Prepare for swoon like no other, with slow burn enemies to romance, tension throughout. Heartbreak Era is the new witty YA rom-com from Sophie Jo that'll break your heart and mend it again. Harley is in her heartbreak era, but what if romance isn't finished with her yet? Harley and Freddie have been a couple forever. They've applied to the same university and even picked out their future children's names. So when Freddie breaks up with her on their 4-year anniversary, Harley is blindsided. She's devoted lunch breaks, holidays, her entire life to Freddie. What's she meant to do now? Harley discovers her college's heartbreak club, where she meets cute, if slightly chaotic, fellow dumpy Seth. But as the past and present start to collide, Harley has a big decision on her hands. Next is Beth is Dead, a gripping, twisty, contemporary murder mystery retelling of iconic classic Little Women. Beth March has been murdered and all her sisters are suspects. But the March sisters have always been close. Will Beth's murder bring them close together or further apart? As each of the girls' motives are uncovered, the March sisters might not be quite as sweet as they seem. This is cult classic Louisa May Alcott's Little Women meets Karen McManus's One of Us is Lying. There's a contemporary take on the famous March sisters with brilliant writing, a gripping plot, and many twists and turns. That's it from us. For more information, please contact publicity@scholastic.co.uk. Thanks.
Hi everyone, welcome to Macmillan Children's Books and First Inks Autumn Highlights, YA Highlights for the SLA Publisher Roadshow. So up first we've got Dustin Towell's You Found Oliver. This brand new YA tearjerker comes from the world of You've Reached Sam, which obviously did super well and was a TikTok sensation. You can expect more heartbreak and hope with a devastating magical twist. And I'd just like to finish this slide with a quote from Adam Silvera, who says, "It's magical how Dustin Tower can make you fall in love with having your heart broken." So tissues at the ready. Next up, we've got The Sleepless, which is coming back in paperback, February 2026. Welcome to a world where gods and monsters roam the earth. The first in an epic slow burn YA fantasy duology from multi-award-winning author Jen Williams. Perfect for fans of God Killer, Powerless, Uprooted, and Girl, Goddess, Queen. Next up, we have got the incredible Hafsa Faisal's A Steeping of Blood, which is the tantalizing follow-up to the #1 best-selling A Tempest of Tea by, as I've already said, TikTok sensation Hafsa Faisal. So we all know readers absolutely loved A Tempest for Tea, which is perfect for fans of King Arthur, Peaky Blinders, Six of Crows. It's got big themes cloaked in accessible adventure. The story is fun, fast-paced and commercial, while also exploring significant themes such as colonialism, prejudice, betrayal, and self-acceptance. And finally, we have Kate Moss's Feminist History of Every Day of the Year. The second in an accessible, empowering, and joyous series that gives a unique perspective on history through voices that have traditionally been marginalized. This is an empowering history book and written by feminist champion, best-selling author Kate Moss. And this is her first time writing for a YA audience. It's a unique celebration of women throughout history, international and inclusive, focusing on well-known figures and unsung heroes, designed with an engaging setting with quotes, photos, and illustrations. Thanks for listening.
Welcome to Bloomsbury Children's Books presentation of young adult books for the SLA Roadshow. First, we have Part, that published on the 14th of August 2025 in paperback. When the world is crumbling around you, how do you make life sweet again? Libby's life is turned upside down when a video of her cheating on her boyfriend Dan goes viral the night he has a serious bike accident. Now the whole school has turned on her. If Dan doesn't wake up from his coma soon, the secret he's been carrying around might disappear along with him, a secret that will change everything. But when Libby finds herself falling for the new girl Neha, she worries that if she follows her heart, she'll betray the people she cares about the most. Can she discover who she really is before she loses everyone? This is a heartwarming story bursting with queer joy, which explores the beauty of finding yourself and your people. Tart tackles big themes with a real heart, which is sure to resonate with YA readers in this knockout debut. Becky Jane Crossley is a debut author. Tart is her first book, with a second book coming soon. As a bisexual author, Becky is passionate about queer stories that portray the realities of coming out and discovering your sexuality, which is a great book to support. Second, we have Make Me a Monster by Kaylin Bayron. Mecca is used to death. After all, it's the family business. Join New York Times bestselling author Kaylin in a Frankenstein-tinged horror romance perfect for fans of Wilder Girls. Mortician's assistant Mecca enjoys her life caring for the dead, surrounded by her family and friends. But when tragedy strikes and Mecca's world is torn apart, Mecca thought she understood death better than anyone. But it turns out the family business is more complicated than it seemed, and Mecca isn't the only one desperate to unearth their secrets, because the truth may truly be worth dying for. This book publishes on the 30th of September 2025 in paperback. Kaylin Bayron is the best-selling author of the young adult novels Cinderella's Dead, This Poison Heart, This Wicked Fate, and You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, as well as the middle grade series The Vanquishers. And third, we have the highly anticipated Seven Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. Her worst enemy, his only chance. Be swept away by the sizzling, irresistible enemies to lovers romantasy with magic more destructive than your darkest nightmares. In the cursed kingdom of Aragoya, the punishment for magic is death. When Viola Sinclair's deadly shadow magic is discovered, the queen gives her assassin, Prince Rose rock collar, a new assignment, and a new cursed tattoo. 7 thorned rose on his arm. For the 7 days he has to hunt Delilah down and kill her. If he doesn't, he'll be the one to die. Rose should revel in their chance to end her life, but he's willing to spare her life and fake their engagement. Forced to work together, Viola and Rose must contend with deadly threats and impossible attraction. This delicious fantasy breathes new life into familiar tropes through sharp writing and a rich atmosphere, and magnetic character dynamics. A stunning debut with enticing world building and heart-stopping plot twists add darkness and grit to this enemies to lovers tale. This publishes on the 28th of October 2025 in hardback. Then coming this March, we have These Shattered Spires by Cassidy Ellis Salter. This is another dark academia trope book, highly anticipated as well. And next we have They Call Her Regret by Chanel Decimals. This is a highly anticipated thriller by the same author of the TikTok sensation Needy Little Things. So thank you for listening. If you'd like to request any of these books, please email me deborah.ognoiki@bloomsbury.com. It should be on the screen, and we will endeavour to get copies or PDFs to anyone who's interested where we can. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name's Jess and I work in the publicity team here at Usborne. I'm really excited to be here today to talk to you about some of our latest YA titles. So we've got a little bit from this year and some sneak peeks into titles coming next year. So lots of fantastic books to get through. So let's kick it off with a nail-biting thriller. Circle of Liars is a debut YA thriller from California-born author Kate Francis. So this is a completely addictive thriller with twists you'll never guess. Fans of Karen McManus and We Will Liars will absolutely love this one. There are twists and turns on every page. This published in July of this year, so it's out now and available to buy. Now for an epic romantasy debut from author Evie Woods. Girls of Dark Divine is a gorgeous gothic romantasy laced with dark magic, burning rage and electrifying romance. It follows cursed ballerinas who fight back at their puppet master who controls them. This is perfect for teen readers who have enjoyed Adeline Grace and maybe aren't quite ready for Stephanie Garber. We have gorgeous POS for this, so you can see the bookmark on the screen. So if you would like some, do get in touch. We also have book club notes. This published in August, so it's out now with a limited edition sprayed black edge on the first print run. Next up is a new book from the critically acclaimed author of Old Wounds, which published last year. Logan Ashley Kisner's new book, The Transition, which you can see here has a gorgeous cover. This is a pulse-pounding YA horror that is perfect for fans of Cemetery Boys and Stephen King. We've had so much brilliant praise for this one, so you can see some of the praise for Old Wounds, but we've also had so much great praise for this new one. It's got a very unique storyline, nothing like we've seen before, and this is publishing in September, so it's out now. So back to fantasy, but maybe for readers who enjoy their fantasy stories with a contemporary setting, this one is definitely for you. Witchlaw is a spellbinding fantasy with an addictive concept. How would you cope if your body switched between male and female forms with absolutely no warning? And what would you do if your new crush said that they could raise your first love from the dead? Sounds like a little bit of a dilemma. This is a gorgeous romantasy from author Emma Hines. This is Emma's debut YA novel. Emma is from Manchester and the story is very much set in Manchester. We've had so much brilliant praise for this one. So many readers reaching out with how obsessed they are with this story. You can see some of the praise on the slide with comparisons to Lex Croucher, Juno Dawson, V. Schwab. So yeah, if you're fans of those authors, I feel like you will love this one. This one is publishing 9th of October, so should be out now. And limited edition first printing has this gorgeous exclusive green sprayed edge on all copies. So if you love a sprayed edge, I feel like you will hopefully love this one. Okay, and now on to 3 very, very exciting titles publishing in 2026. 2 brand new YA murder mysteries from best-selling authors Farida Abike-Yamide, who's the author of Ace of Spades and Where Sleeping Girls Lie, and Ravina Guron, who is the author of This Book Kills and most recently Monday's a Murder. The Heirs, the one on the left, is a roller coaster of twists and turns with secrets, lies, murder and money. This is the Inheritance Games meets Knives Out. So if you're a fan of those, you'll absolutely love this. Your Murder Next, on the right, is another epic, mind-blowing murder mystery from the acclaimed author of This Book Kills. This is perfect for fans of Holly Jackson. If you love a twisty-turny thriller, you'll absolutely love this one. And these are both publishing in the summer. We will have proofs and they will be available on NetGalley. My email is at the end of the slide, so you can get in touch there. And very excitingly, coming at the end of 2026 in the autumn, we have a new title from the Queen of UK YA, Holly Bourne. This is And Then We Screamed. Cover yet to be revealed, but you can expect mystery, conspiracy, and so much more in this book. It's going to be amazing. So yeah, we really do have something for everyone. Thank you so much for listening. My contact information is on this slide. If you want to get in touch about any of the titles we spoke about or anything YA, you can also scan this QR code to sign up to our librarian mailing list. This will put you on the list to receive proofs, exclusive event opportunities, and much more. So scan the QR code and you can fill in your details to be added to our list. But yeah, please do get in touch, and thanks so much for listening.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining today. I'm Hannah and I'm the Head of Marketing and Publicity at Flying Eye Books. For those of you who don't know us, we're a children's publisher based in East London, publishing for ages 0 to YA with a focus on highly illustrated titles, including comics and graphic novels. I'm excited to share some of our upcoming YA titles with you today, so let's get started. Published just last week, Astral Panic is the debut YA graphic novel by Katie Hicks, exploring anxiety and digital overwhelm. Gail is trying to master his anxiety using the latest wonder cure, Simply Pear, but somehow all of their notifications and wellness drinks are only making things worse. Can his happy-go-lucky roommate, Aidan, help him pop his anxiety bubble? Anxiety is a growing issue amongst teens, and although this is not a self-help title, we hope that teens who have experienced it will see themselves reflected and not feel alone. And for those who are lucky enough to not deal with anxiety, we hope Astral Panic will open their eyes to what others are going through. But overall, this is a fun and joyful read full of art, music, and friendship. This book's joyous, bubbly artwork taps into a retro 90s Y2K feel and is complemented by a grungy sprayed edge and a cover that is textured like a vinyl record. Do give it a little scratch if you don't find that too weird. We're super excited about this highly relatable coming-of-age story, and we hope you are too. A sneak peek ahead to 2026 now. Coming out in March next year, we have Skating Wilder by Brandon DeMay and AJ Dungo. You may recognise AJ's name from the hugely popular In Waves, which next year is being released as an animated film. Watch this space. But for now, we're here to talk about Skating Wilder. Skateboarding is hard, and it hurts. No one can tell you exactly who invented it, but it has inspired generations of brave warriors to hit the curbs. This book flies through skateboarding's weird history and grinds through AJ and Brandon's best and worst skateboarding memories. They're not experts, but they know how much this sport means to the communities that have embraced it and made it their own. This is a poignant non-fiction comic that sheds light on the inclusive and life-changing world of skateboarding. Perfect for those currently skating around, as well as those of us who watched MTV and hung up their boards years ago, or those of us who tried once and decided we were safer on solid ground. Skating Wilder is a brilliantly illustrated graphic novel that is the perfect mix of autobiography and skateboarding history. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have any questions about any of our titles, please do get in touch. Thank you.
Hello SLA members, this is Danny Price. I'm here from Rock the Boat, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about a few of our upcoming young adult titles. So first up is House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. You've probably heard of this title already. It published in the US in 2019 and has been selling over here since. It's sold thousands and thousands of copies. It's a real TikTok YA, like people who've read it adore it. So it's a dark gothic retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses fairy tale. It's set in a haunting seaside manor, and there's 12 sisters, and there's lots of tragedy, lots of deaths, quite mysterious. As to why this is happening, what's happening. I think readers really love how atmospheric it is. It's suspenseful, you're never really sure what's happening. You don't know why these deaths are happening, and it's kind of got like fairy tale quality, but also kind of quite gothic-y, horror-y. And I think that it's just very evocative. There's some romance in it, there's some family drama. And just a really fun kind of wintry autumn read, and this is out in November. So January 2025 we have Tide Speaker by debut author Sadie Turner. This is the first in a spellbinding new YA fantasy duology. This is a gothic fantasy, it's a twisty mystery, and it has some forbidden romance in there. So the premise of the book is that autistic water mage Corith Frame secures a life-changing position serving a powerful noble family on an isolated tidal island. But when she discovers that her predecessor died under mysterious circumstances, she must navigate a maze of her employer's dark secrets if she wants to survive. So this has elemental magic. Corith has the power to control water with her words, and this power makes this family that she works for even more powerful. So she's very important to them. So there's a mystery there. Her predecessor, her friend, has disappeared, possibly dead. So she's trying to find out what happened to her. So yeah, I think Jane Eyre, there's like definitely a kind of Bronte's vibe about this book, but also meets House of Salt and Sorrows. So I think you're going to really love this, out in January. So again in January we have Heavenly Tyrant by Xiran J. Zhao. This is the epic sequel to Iron Widow. It blends Chinese mythology, mecha battles and political intrigue, and it's set in a fierce feminist sci-fi world. So Wu Zetian is the lead protagonist. Zetian grapples with power, rebellion and the cost of change, and the story dives deeper into the themes of identity and revolution which were explored in Iron Widow. I think readers will love its sharp wit, and it has bold, brilliant world building, and it has an unapologetic, defiant heroine at the heart of the novel, the series, and she refuses to be controlled by gods and men. This is out in January in paperback. So in March 2025 we are excited about our YA thriller Better Off Dead by author Tess James Mackey. Tess has wrote the two thrillers, Someone Is Watching You and You Wouldn't Catch Me Dead. So this is her third book. The premise of this is very cool. So 70-year-old Lacey is forced to take a job at a rundown caravan park in North Wales. She feels like she's been watched, and the behaviour of her colleagues becomes stranger and stranger by the moment, and then the bodies start piling up, and she wonders if she's ever going to survive the summer. So her job is to discover who or what the killer is before she can become the next victim. So this is a little bit like One of Us is Lying meets Win, Lose, Kill, Die. But the special thing about this is it has a little bit of a chilling supernatural twist to it. She's not kind of sure who or what this murderer is. So it's really, really fun, really great read. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Thanks for listening to our YA presentation. You're very welcome to get in touch with myself and Rowan and the team. We do have some proofs available of Better Off Dead and Tide Speaker, so just drop us a line and we can forward you those copies if you would like them, or any bookmarks, or just any further information. Thanks so much. Bye.